Hey everybody, it's Ryan. Welcome back to How Farms Work. As you may be able to tell, we are currently underneath the hood of the 4640 because Travis can't be trusted with nice things.
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, just because I have
Say what you did.
I just happened to be in the seat when the problems arise doesn't mean it was my fault.
As evidenced by the smear marks underneath the hood, I would assume that's from the coolant.
How would you know? You don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
You didn't know until I told you.
No. So, what do we got? A leak on the water pump, we think?
No, it's not a leak. The water pump, the bearing is out on it because the fan shouldn't be able to do this. Of course, some people may see that and think, hey, that just allows you to move more air more effectively, but no, that is indeed not how this is supposed to work.
So he knew there was a leak when he quit. What time did you quit?
It was 1:30 in the morning.
1:30. So he quit late at night. He knew that there was a small leak under the hood, so he shut it off, and then the next morning he went back out, and the tractor wouldn't start.
See, this is a long, drawn-out process. You gotta tell them everything. You can't just tell them the one part.
I'm giving them teasers. You gotta explain the rest.
I gotta explain everything?
Yeah.
Go figure. Okay, so it was a second day chisel plowing. Went out at like 7 o'clock. No, it was about 5 o'clock that afternoon because it was so wet out throughout the day that it took that long to really dry out to do anything. Went out, started working ground up, and I noticed there was a small leak on it at like early in the morning. The tractor started to get a little bit warm. It did not get hot, it got warm. I want to make that very clear because it never got in the red or anything else like that. But I just figured that if it was starting to warm up, it was late, I was tired, it was supposed to start raining in like an hour anyway. So I ended up taking it back to the buildings, shut it off. Only problem that it really had given me any idea that I had at the time was the fact that it was leaking radiator fluid. I mean, there really wasn't that much actually on the machine. So, woke up the next morning, was gonna bring it back up to the farm because this is at my place where I left it. Came back up, didn't come back up. Went out to start it the next morning to bring the tractor up, and all I got was click, 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 click. Well, started doing some looking around. The battery was fizzing like Alka-Seltzer. Come to find out, the battery was cracked. It was bad. We got 2 new batteries in it now. Got the new parts. Ended up taking the alternator up, which is less than a year old. Checked that. Alternator was bad. Come to find out that the battery was cracked, which was giving the issue of the alternator having to constantly run at full power because that battery was demanding the extra power to try to get that battery charged up, which it wasn't able to do because the battery was faulty. Fixed that, new alternator, went back and started it. The tractor did start, but it started hard. Now, to be fair, it was like, what, 32 degrees out when we were doing this?
Yeah, it was kind of cold.
So the engine was cold.
New batteries, it should have started better.
Yeah, but with the new batteries, it should have starting, I guess is what we're looking for, better. Because when we went to go start it, there was a lag from the time you hit the key to when the engine was actually turning over at the full RPM of the starter. So that led us to believe, and with some diagnosing, the starter is bad. And the starter is older. It's been on this tractor longer than we've had it. So definitely an issue that we had to address. So Ryan got the starter off, and right now, you guys already saw the fan shaking. We found where the leak is. So we're gonna be fixing that here too.
So I'll take you over and show you the starter. So on the 46th, the starter's down in this corner. You may be able to see if I pull out my handy dandy phone. I got my phone. So there you can see the flywheel. Here is the starter. Pretty straightforward. Pretty much just turns the flywheel so that the tractor can start. So we're gonna go ahead and take the shroud out and continue to work on the 4640. got the 4640 all torn apart. So it's getting a new starter, which is about 300 bucks. The John Deere ones, Travis said, are about 800. So we're going with the cheaper option. The water pump here, we are going to take to Sloan's and they're gonna rebuild it for us. So I don't know if you can tell any more now than you could before, but there's significant wobble there in the bearing. So the parts for this aren't gonna be in for a few days. So I'm probably not totally sure if I'm gonna be able to film that, because I hope to be hauling more grain by the time that the parts for this come in. So probably while I'm hauling, Travis and her dad is going to be working on putting this back together. But all in all, it really wasn't that bad of a job. We did it in an afternoon, and we weren't even really pushing that hard to get it all done. It was just a lot of moving hoses around and taking out bolts. So she's pretty heartless right now. Since we have the fan shroud out anyway, we decided that we're gonna spray paint it black. The reason being is because the later model 40 series had black fan shrouds compared to green ones that the earlier ones had. That's one way that you can tell an earlier model 40 series from a later model. So we just took it down to the milk house. We're gonna let it dry. We have plenty of time to work on it or put it back in. So we decided we'd just spray paint it down there and give it a little bit of extra flair. I kind of like the black look myself. That should be about it for this video, guys. Be sure to check out all of our other ones. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, all how farms work. And with that, I'll see you next time.